Setup wise, as we said, grip, if we zoom in here now, you can see your left thumb sort of around to the, as we're looking the right side, as you'll be looking down to your left side, and the top part of the grip there, we could see going to be visible to you when you hold the clutch. So your left hand was there, and that's generally indicative of someone quite close to it and quite upright, and your left hand like this, rather than being a little bit more over the ball and a bit further down. We look at the grip there, you can see your left hand's covering it. So the fact we can see that little swoosh on your panther on your left hand there, okay. So those two left hand grips are very, very different, okay. Now that left hand grip and being very upright created this kind of motion here, now sort of scooping. That was a bit of a long swing in your practice swing. As you come back to the golf ball, that scoops. At this point here now, there's your left arm. The club now has already overtaken that. As you come into impact now, you're catching middle of the ball, as you can see, and the ball then just shoots on the ground. And because your left forearm doesn't really move, your left forearm gets to there, stays there until the club gets to about here. Not really moving at all, your left forearm, is it? And then still there, and then so you've kind of got there and you've gone whoop, and just done that. So your hands haven't really gone past your body at all, okay? So a bit scoopy, a bit flicky, trying to get under the ball as you've seen in the past, okay? This swing here now, okay, club goes back, very good, keeping that triangle. As you come back to the golf ball, if we look at the same position now with your left forearm, club now is behind it, whereas before the club was here on that scooping position. If we go back to there, okay, in position there, there's your left forearm. The difference when that club is in relation to your body, okay, so just look at there, this club is still behind. As you come into impact now, club's coming down, lovely strike. Look at your left arm now, keeps going. Your hand keeps going, your left arm keeps going. You shake hands to target. You finish more in that position as opposed to that position.
That's really bad.
A bit scoopy, like please go up in the air. And that always comes from people when they see a ball going low, we just try to lift it. It's just normal, like I want to get the ball up in the air, and they just feel, because they're right-handed dominant very often, if they get this with their right hand and try and scoop it, it might work. Now when the ball's sat on grass like this, it's really sort of high and tufty, or on a bit of chunky grass, you might get away with it. But more often than not, the ball's sat on the ground, down a little bit. If you scoop, and as we said, pick that ball up an inch off the ground and you moved it massively, an inch off the ground is how much off the ground your club when you make contact there. I mean, if you look where the club is at contact, it's not miles off the ground, is it? I mean, but it's just enough to catch the middle of the ball, and the ball then just scuttle on the ground very low. And because you see a ball then going low, sort of shooting across this direction, and you want the ball up there, you then try to do it. The loft of that golf club, as you saw with some of the shots there that you hit, will send that ball up in the air more than enough.
I need this so much. This would be
I'm
excited about this.
Yes.
This would be very handy for me.
If you get good at this area of the game now, you're going to be flying, to be fair, because you can get some control of the club here now. Anything around the green. So, for example, situations like the button, if you play, everybody plays both courses, to be fair, but you play the Mac. So on the mat, then you hit, say, 3 good shots on the Mac, and you're within this sort of distance of the green, aren't you? I guess the drive and a second shot and a third shot past the tree. You could be 40, 50 yards from the flag. Play the shot on the green, you're on for 4. If your putting's getting better and you're 2.5 putting, 6.5, 7, good score. Second to the corner, second to the gap, 3 up by the green. You're in this area again now. Chip on for 4, 2 putt for a 6 maybe. Par 3 fourth, you've been in and around the green, chip on, 2 putt 4. So you're going to get your scores are going to come. You get that 50, 60 yard circle around the flag. If you can chip on the green and use this again, if you want to go a bit further, because you're not. If we actually watch this swing, and I'll watch the left hand one in a second. If you actually watch the right hand swing in full speed, okay, it's not slow. There's a hit to, isn't it? Not in a bad way, but you're not trying to decelerate. There's no sort of quit on the ball. It's sort of the same length back as through, and boom, there's a good hit. It hasn't gone too far, it's only gone 30 yards. But if we look at the left-hand one here now, when you hit the golf ball, it's like you just want to try and stop. And the length of swing, that's how far you were going back up here, sort of level with your shoulders. So in theory, the swing should be going through level with your shoulders. You watch as you come through, everything stops, and the club nowhere near it. Whereas this one was a shorter backswing, so therefore you created less power, level with your hips. As the club comes through, level with your hips. So the swing, therefore, is very symmetrical, whereas before it was kind of that way, and the sort of the midpoint was back here somewhere, where you're stopping the hand and then you go and just flick the club.
What's been happening is, if I'm about 100 yards, I will use this. and it'll get me in most
Yeah,
of the
you
way.
can get- yeah.
And it'll put me in a good position on the green, which I'm
Yeah.
got to have.
Yeah.
But when it's a shorter distance like this, I'm actually thinking, oh, what shall I use?
You're almost like
Because
desperation of what.
It is actually, because this is always
going too far.
I've
You're
been
not,
using for big shots, distance.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at it thinking, oh gosh, like a 7, I can hit
It does, yeah, exactly. 110, 120 yards of that, yeah, exactly.
So it's a bit.
And that's the way to look at these clubs. Is they're not clubs that go a maximum of 120. All these clubs can go a minimum of 1 yard or 5 yards or whatever. So when you see a shot going 30 yards, that's 6 times more than the minimum. So there's still acceleration in that thought. There's still a hit in that process. It's not, oh, this goes 120, 30 yards. I got to do 25% distance. That's nothing. I got to be quitty on it. If you think of it as going a yard or 5 yards, you're always then going to be thinking of accelerating to get to 30, aren't you? Because a minimum of 5, that needs 6 times more power to go 30.
Yeah.
But if it goes 120 and you think, 30 yards, you're taking off 75%.
Because the girls use entirely different clubs to me, probably because they're better at a short game.
I wouldn't say that's the case. No, all the clubs in the bag can be. I think with this shot here now, we've got 30 yards, give or take.
Yeah.
If you're playing into the second on the button, now we know we have been through quite a lot of clubs to that green, okay, but when the wind's in different directions, that can affect that. But generally speaking, when you get to on any given day, it's one or other club. It's either a 7 or a 9, or a 7 or a 5 iron, or a 5 or a 5 wood. It's only one or two clubs. When you're here on any conditions, it could be a wedge, it could be a sand iron, it could be a putter, it could be a 7 iron, it could be a 5. There's a lot of club choice you could make, and the nearer to the green you get, the more options you have in terms of clubs. And that's why I think you need to take that, okay, how am I going to play this shot? I'm going to land it there. If I use that club, it's going to land there. And just think about the shot a bit more. But the more consistent your contact's going to get with this left-hand grip and being more over the ball.
Yeah. Be very useful.
Left-hand grip is going to be key. If you get yourself your check, when you look down, what part of the grip can I see? If the first part of the grip you can see is below your right nail, then your hands are on correctly. If you can start seeing parts of the grip in between your hands or above your hands, assuming not going down the grip, then you're up here with your left hand in this position. Now, if you put just get your left hand a second, just hold your left hand down by your side, okay? So I've got a second. And just get your left hand in front of you here now. That's naturally hanging down now. Yeah. Now turn your left hand here now and lock your elbow this way, okay? Now put it in front of you, okay? So keep your hand up facing the sky this way, and now make a goal swing and try and swing through. If there was a little bit kind of shruggy in it, if you sort of lock that hand as you were doing there, trying to come through this way now, it doesn't feel natural. But let your arm just hang down this way as you were. Now put your left arm in front there, and now just swing your arm. Bit easier, isn't it? Yeah. So if your natural arm hang is where your arm naturally hangs, there is kind of palms. No one sort of walks around with their hands facing outwards this way. So if you're gripping a golf club like this and this shoulder kind of shrugs up, this elbow might get a bit locked, your grip gets a bit tight. And trying to swing this arm now is going to involve this, which is lift the club up in the air.
And use the arm, not the shoulder.
Yeah, just let the arm swing in the shoulder joint.
My work's all done with this.
Yeah, you sort of, and then this way, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Allow that arm to swing in the socket there, back and through. But if the arm is hanging down naturally, it can swing this way. Okay? If you're doing it like this and your hand, when I say to people, open your hands and let go of the club, they do this. And their hands are locked in, fingers like sort of like they're cramped, they're sort of locked in positions. Like, no, relax. It's like, there's relaxed, okay? Let this arm hang down so this arm can, there you go. And things can just move now with a much better function, so.
I ought to be aware of my shoulder more.
Yeah. Make sense of that grip, though,
Yes, it does.
Excellent, good stuff. Let's have a couple more then, okay?